In my book, Get It Together, people from all walks of life opened up to me. They shared their deepest life stories and some of their most insane secrets. But just because we finished the book doesn't mean the Get It Together series is over. Today we're talking to a reformed Amish stripper. Meet Naomi Swartzentruber, a woman who grew up in one of the largest and most conservative Amish communities. Naomi, like many of the Amish, was sheltered her entire upbringing. The Amish don't use modern technology. Naomi was raised without television, internet, cell phones, not even electricity. She moved around in a horse and buggy or on foot. Her house was heated by fire and lit by candlelight. And she traded one extreme lifestyle for another. Naomi became a stripper, and she joins us now. Naomi, please explain what it's like growing up Amish.
What's it like growing up Amish? As a child, I loved it because that's all I knew. I had lots of work to do, starting at a pretty young age.
A lot of farm work. Obviously, you didn't know who I was because you didn't have access to cable, which is really unfortunate. How did you survive that?
There was lots of farm work, gardening, cooking, cleaning, making clothes. And there wasn't a lot of time for play, but that's just how it was, and I survived. How
did you move from being Amish to being a stripper?
As a teenager, I rebelled, and then at 17, I ran away. My girlfriend took me to a strip club on a Friday night, and before I knew it, I was on stage, and it was very overwhelming, but fun at the same time, and I ended up dancing for 20 years.
20 years. How do you go to a strip club and wind up on stage?
I didn't mean to. So my girlfriend that took me, she didn't tell me that we were going to a strip club. She just told me we were going out, and then that we were at a strip club. 3 girls came and started making conversation with me, and then they grabbed me and dragged me to this dressing room with my girlfriend behind giggling. And they stripped my clothes off and all agreed on a hot pink bikini. And they put it on me and pushed me through the door onto the stage. And I was like, oh my goodness. It was crazy. And I thought about my Amish family, and I was like, I'm definitely going to hell for this. Everyone was cheering and clapping and all excited. And I had $55 when I walked off stage, and I was like, wow, that wasn't that bad.
So you're Amish, you became a stripper, even though you knew you were going to go to hell, but the money was good. Was there anything besides stripping? Did it lead to drugs?
When I would go on stage, it was, I felt very empowered, and for the first time in my life, I owned my sexuality, and it was pretty amazing. And eventually, I started hanging out with the wrong crowd when I started going to college, and I started doing coke and then crack, and once I got into drugs, I stopped going to college, I stopped going to work, and it was just the beginning of the end. And that's when I realized that I needed to get away from the people that I was hanging out with if I ever wanted to have my life back together again. I really feel like growing up Amish gave me a strong foundation and the strength to move on and away from that.
Any advice for other people that are going down a dark path, stripping, drug abuse?
Definitely, get support if you can, and just never give up. There's hope. If I can get through it, anyone can. And it was very challenging and very hard at times, but I never gave up. And just advice, just don't give up. You can do it. You can get away from that if you choose to.
Never give up. Great advice from a reformed Amish stripper. Naomi, thank you so much.
You're welcome.